Oh, it's my socks. Howdy, y'all. Say howdy, Wall. The secret ingredient in Portillo's chocolate cake is mayonnaise. And if that grosses you out, mayonnaise is just eggs and oil. That's in good cake anyway. I didn't come home with a plan today. I'm just gonna stare talk into the void here and see if the void stares back. I need to get a less squeaky chair. If it happens to be your birthday, happy birthday to you. And thank you to all of you who I've heard back about so far. I have never gotten so many compliments on my editing. I know there was a bit in the last one where the audio was off. That happened late in the game and it was way too much trouble at that point to fix. So I apologize. But warts and scars and all, man. I'm also currently not baking anything. I should be. I mean, I am hungry. Be right back. That's my secret, Cap. I'm always hungry. One thing I always did as a kid, and in fact still do now as an adult, is sort of randomly apropos of nothing, like quote movies. Of course, it was worse when I was younger because it was all Simpsons quotes. And to be honest, the Simpsons quotes are still there. It was actually sort of a decent show if you were looking to embiggen your vocabulary. When I was growing up, Star Trek Next Generation was the show that was on during the day, so that was the one I grew up with. And I remember once my mom suggested, okay, so while the episode is on, if there's a word you don't know, write down what you think it is and look it up later. And this was before closed captioning was a ubiquitous thing, so you had to just make the best guesses to the spelling, which is what people do to this day with Google. I still check a definition here and there. And I learned the pronunciation of the word macabre from a Calvin and Hobbes comic. Because you see the word, you'd never heard it before, but then I wonder, how does that spelling, like A-B-R-E, how does that rhyme with job? Blew 12-year-old Maddie's mind. There was a point and I lost it. Oh yeah, random movie quotes out of nowhere. Honestly, how is that much different from people who will quote Bible verses, or old snippets of Shakespeare, or lines from plays? It's the same kind of mental exercise. Reaching out to texts familiar to help explain something in the real world, or contextualize anyway. In that same way that human brains are just too small to really comprehend the massive sizes and distances of space and objects in it. We are but dust on the dashboard of life. As I get older, I realize why quote movies when I can come up with way weirder shit. Talking to the void, talking to the void, talking to the jam to the void. I probably slouched too much. A few years back, I took a road trip with a girlfriend, her mom, and her sister. We went to the Blue Ridge Mountains, like a cabin in the woods in Georgia. Right off a mountain slope, you could see the storms rolling in, and off the top, it got like pitch dark. Basically watching lightning from the sky. It was gorgeous. We decided to have like an adventure vacation. We did zip lining, we rode a horse. My horse was temperamental and kept trying to turn around and bite the mom's horse. And one of the other things we decided to do was go whitewater rafting. To get to the beach that you launch from, every group of like 6 people gets a guy. We had a big buff tan dude named Chris, and the instructor tells you, I'll be sitting on the back of the boat and I will tell you 2 forward or 2 backwards or 1 to kind of control our path down the rapids as we went. And at some points we just have to tuck our oars in and go for the ride. They do give you helmets for this, by the way. Another part of the quick training pitch is you are warned about summer teeth. What are summer teeth, you may be asking yourselves, especially if you live up north and not in Tennessee? Well, see, you just don't want to get hit in the face with an oar because that'll give you summer teeth, you know, summer in your mouth and summer in the boat. So we're off on our rapid. We get to the first rough patch, get through it fine. Get through the second rough patch. And at this point, we hadn't, as a group, really had to do the tuck-in move yet, where we'll get in the boat, oars up, and just ride it. So when Buff Chris calls out tuck in, and we all sort of, oh crap, we gotta, somebody smacked me in the face with an oar. I don't know if it was me. I don't know if it was the girlfriend or her mom. All I know is it was unintentional no matter who, and I didn't even realize I got hit in the face because we were in the shock and throes of getting knocked around in cold water. So we finally get done with that into a calm bit, and I'm feeling around about where I got hit, and then I feel a gap. Uh-oh. Girl says, what? There's a tooth missing. Whoever had smacked me in the face with the oar actually knocked part of one of my front teeth off, and it was still in my mouth. So I was able to salvage it. I don't still have it anywhere. That would be kind of weird, but I did keep it at the time. Went down to Georgia and Tennessee, and immediately my mouth fit right in. So at the end of the rapids, we're in the calm little bit and we can sort of float the river for a while. We were at the front of the group, and I think Buff Chris felt bad for us. So he said, okay, you guys want a little bit of a show? Turns the boat so we're floating backwards down the river and we can see the rest of the groups that were behind us. One of the boats comes up to the rough part that Buff Chris tells us to watch. It hits in such a way that everybody on the boat but their buff guy got flung out. The mom we were on the trip with said, oh, thank God you didn't do that. I would be so mad if my hair got wetter. Rapids tend to be splashy. Then no sooner did those words come out of her mouth, as we are still watching, another boat comes over the rapids, and this time the entire thing and everybody just flips completely upside down. And we are all most mirthful and chuckling at their expense. And I guess they do this on purpose, like they will always, if not by the incompetence of the passengers of the boat who are doing this for the first time, sometimes the buffs will purposely flip a boat if they feel the people can handle it, just so that they have a story. The little fun thing that happened to them on their boat ride. We got ours out of the way early. We also saw a comedian that reminded me of a hick David Schwimmer, and almost all of his jokes were like Reddit posts. Worst $5 cover charge I ever spent. The only downside to that vacation, other than that relationship imploded on the way back from that vacation, and that's a whole thing, I didn't get an opportunity to try real, pure, true, sweet Southern tea. Although judging from the condition of my tooth at the time, that might have been an okay thing. It was touchy with the glow for the trip. I imagine sugar would have made it melt, like that one dude's wax face in Raiders. Welcome to my void. Good night, everybody.